welcome to Straightforward. We are celebrating women's history, and the amazing Dr. Tamorie Smith is here to share with us her wonderful journey as a nephrologist. And I never knew what a nephrologist was until I met you. And you kindly explained to me that that's what a kidney doctor is what we would say in the community. But I am so thankful that you would take time to come today. And when you arrived, I realized we are in our 12th season. And 12 years ago, you were a guest, you and Dr. Alapan, which is one of your partners at Renal Associates, LLC, and you all have supported me from day one, just amazing people. And you were pregnant.
Yes.
And so now we have a 12-year-old.
Yes, yes, we do, a 12-year-old.
And he's almost tall as you.
Yes.
Noah.
He shot up, absolutely.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that is a good mile marker for me. And so when people say, well, no, I'm not really sure she's been there, you are living proof.
Oh, yes, you have.
Yes, because you came and you had your little top on, and then you like, it was like, oh, well, she's pregnant. I was like, oh, wow.
Yes.
So we've had 2 babies since I had this show.
Absolutely.
So we have Noah.
And Mia.
And Mia's a little girl.
Yes.
And I was at her baby shower. And how old is Mia now?
She will be 9 next month.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
That fast?
That fast.
And so they're both enrolled at Pacelli.
Correct.
Okay. And your mom is still being super grandma.
That is her title.
Overindulging. You know, I first met her at our mutual friend Thai restaurant.
Correct.
And then we were there for dinner, and then she was there getting some takeout. And then you was like, oh, well, my mama thinks that she really knows you. And of course, she and I took a picture together. But I just really admire the mother she is, the way she supports you.
Absolutely.
Because and you're a wife. So we got to make sure we mention your husband.
Absolutely.
And his name is?
Randy.
Randy. Of course, my father thought he could marry you and move you and Randy in with him. And he said, he told you could bring him.
Absolutely. He was very kind on that.
Yeah,
he said you can bring him with
your husband too. Yeah, but you took
you.
excellent care of Daddy, and we will always be grateful to you for that. But your mom is there because this specialty that you're in, as a kidney doctor, you put in some long hours. You work with some very sick people.
Yes, ma'am.
And she's there as your backup.
Absolutely.
And from day one, with Noah, then we got Mia, and you could always depend on her.
Yes, I very much believe that behind any successful person is a group of support. And I have that. I have such a supportive family. I am very blessed in that. I have a husband who would do anything for me. He married me knowing what he was in for, knowing that we have a very non-traditional lifestyle. He does a lot of things.
And he's very comfortable with that.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have a fragile ego, and that's what I think he's amazing. So
you cannot have a fragile
ego, not with you.
No,
and then you were at once the only female partner.
Correct.
In Renal Associates,
for
LLC.
Many years.
For many years. And it was all males and just you.
And they didn't even know what to expect with a female.
Right.
You know, we have these conversations now. They didn't, you know, females come with different baggage than men do.
Exactly.
You know, we're mothers, we're wives.
Right.
They
Daughters.
They go home to a wife. I am the wife.
Exactly.
You know? So I do what they do, and I'm a wife, and I'm a mother, and I'm a daughter, and a sister, and all the hats that we as women wear.
Yes.
And it's a challenge, but what's important is it takes a supportive backbone, a system to help you. And I have that. I have a wonderful husband. I have a mother whom I just don't know what I would do without.
Absolutely.
She is my right and left hand.
And your biggest cheerleader, and rightfully so. Yes.
And I have a father who also helps in supporting her so that they can do whatever we need to help with the kids. And because it takes a village to raise children.
It really does. And that's the thing I like about you. And I love all of the brilliant, humble people that's really making a difference. I mean, just from day one, you know, when we met you and the team, and we were talking about Daddy and his care, and you were like, I was like, we high maintenance people, and you said, that's a good thing. Ask as many questions as you like. If you don't ask questions, that's what the problem is. And it was a lot of us.
Absolutely.
And you were very kind and very patient. So certainly you needed rest and respite when you got home and knowing that your mama was there. No, really, because, you know, we were a handful, but you were always very supportive and very, very, very kind through it all. But you're right. Dr. Alapan, Alk, Ramana, Chauhan, and
now we have Patel and Aparna.
Okay.
So there's 7 of us now.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We are growing.
Very much so. And you all have turned into a learning
Absolutely.
research type of organization.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've added on to the practice.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all have expanded.
Absolutely.
See, I've been on with this team a long time.
A lot has happened in these 12 years.
Yeah, I know, right? So we were in Alabama and Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a lot of travel.
Yes.
The reason I say that is because your husband is amazing. Because you can't have a fragile ego when you got a brilliant wife that's an expert in a non-traditional field. Because usually women are not in that field.
That's true.
And particularly African-American women.
That is true.
Are not in that field.
That is true. That is true. With nephrology, you know, there are several different sections or layers to what we do, because we don't just go to the hospital. We're not just in clinic. We have dialysis facilities.
Yes.
And our practice specifically, as you mentioned, we have tentacles. So we are in Georgia and Alabama, but within Georgia and Alabama, we service Albany, LaGrange, Warm Springs, Columbus, Phoenix City, Opelika, Roanoke, Alabama, Alexander City, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama.
So that's why mom and our husband
are very necessary.
And the granddaddy.
Absolutely.
They are key players.
Absolutely.
Right. And it truly takes a village.
It's true. And we have that village, thank goodness.
Right.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
when you go to Montgomery, and I know we've had a problem with coordinating, because I can't believe you didn't come here last year.
I know.
Time got away from us, so we haven't visited since 2023. But you are traveling.
Yes.
And you have to stay over, you know, when it's your time to rotate in and out.
Yes.
And so that's why it's important that mom is there.
Yes.
And granddaddy and of course our husband, and he's going to be there when we get home and handling things.
And as a mom, you know, you're constantly weighing and trying to balance things, because obviously I've put a lot into my career. So my career is very important to me.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, so are my family and my children. And I want to be there and I want to see everything. And so it helps me to balance it by having those key pieces in place. When I can't be there, their grandma can be there, their dad can be there, their grandpa can be there. And so that helps me know, you know, it's one thing to have family there. That means something.
Right.
As opposed to hiring someone or having someone stand in, which some people have to do. And whatever you have to do, you make it happen.
Exactly.
I'm just blessed that instead I get to have their actual family there to help
Exactly. Our blood relatives. And you have that level of comfort.
Correct.
And you can go and do your job.
And that allows me, with a clear mind, to go and do what I need to do.
And we appreciate that. We really do. No, because you're brilliant and you're one of the best. What we're going to do is go to our first break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors.
Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided, a touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. Whole Patient Healthcare. Dr. Jada Rimes-Bacote is board certified in family medicine. She believes the best patient care includes practical, individualized lifestyle changes. Located at 1338 13th Avenue, Columbus, 706-641-2080, or visit wholepatienthealthcare.com.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm enjoying this amazing visit with the beautiful and brilliant Dr. Tamorie Smith, the best nephrologist in the United States. I'm just saying what my daddy said. My daddy said you were the best, and he was your patient. You took very good care of him. Every single thing you said, almost down to the day, you know, it proved itself to be true. And so we definitely thank you for that. But we are celebrating women's history, and a lot of women have wonderful, great careers, but they don't have the support system. And the thing that I admire about you and your family, your husband and your parents, is that there is no competition. Sometimes young couples get married, and you all have been married, what, 15 years now?
This is 15 years this year.
15 years, and I'm really happy to hear that, is that it turns into a competition, or people start feeling resentful.
Right.
But you put a lot of time and study at the, University of Alabama?
That's right.
You paid with blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right.
You came from a military family. You didn't come from a trust fund.
That's right.
You had to work hard to earn your place.
Absolutely.
And so on the front end, your husband knew
Absolutely.
what he was signing up for.
Yes.
Unfortunately, people start out sometimes, and then the spouse get weary.
Right.
And they want to make another choice.
Right.
And we've seen that.
Yep.
I mean,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
actually know some people,
ma'am.
professionals, that the spouse, it was just too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It's
Right.
not easy. Day in, day out, life gets hectic, life gets busy. And, we tried to have very good open communication with one another. I tried to let him know up front and ahead of time, what is this going to look like? What does
Right.
life with me look like? And we talked about it. He decided he could accept it. And God is good. He has stayed there all this time. We are still happily married.
Very
We'll
great.
celebrate 15 years. But I mean, he's in the trenches with me every day.
Yeah.
But we, our Pastor Valerie Thompson, we did premarital counseling with her. And one thing that she said that we actually still remind each other about to this day, she said, remember, going forward, you are one.
Right.
You are one individual, one person. So my triumphs are his triumphs.
Exactly.
My accomplishments are his accomplishments. When I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I'm upset, that's him.
Exactly.
And vice versa. So when you try and keep that in your mind and put God first and remember that, it makes things come out okay.
Right. And so you just stay the course.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to share with other women. Oftentimes we are the last people to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
We're taking care of everybody else, like you. You're a wife, a mother, besides being this great professional. You're a sister, because I'm friends with your people on Facebook. So I know I met some of them even at the baby shower, and you got the ones you got to support that's in college, that's performing, and you're all over the map trying to be there for people.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell other women it's okay. We feel so guilty. Professional women, I don't care what it is,
Right.
if they are teachers or,
Right.
of course, Valerie, I know her, the Allen family, our families are commingled, and of course she's a pastor, and she has a husband
Absolutely.
and children and grandchildren. But tell women it's okay to stop, take care of yourself,
Right.
to pour back into yourself.
Yes.
Because if you're depleted, you can't pour into other people.
Society makes us feel this guilt. We're not supposed to put ourselves first. We're not supposed to count ourselves. You're supposed to put everyone else first and you go last.
Right.
But you can't pour from an empty glass.
Oh, you're right.
And so, you have to fill yourself up in order to be able to be that person and to be there. And as women, we have to pull each other up and encourage each other and make sure we know. Tell your sister friend that it's okay. Hey, check on your strong friends.
Oh,
we
yes.
need to be checked on.
Exactly. People oftentimes think it's strong people.
Oh,
We don't
they're
need
fine.
anything.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. Oh, she's good. She's
and sometimes
always good.
we're exhausted and
That's
weary.
who you need to check on, because
Yes.
those people need support and need help. So check on each other. As women, we have to do better about that. Sometimes men are easier on us than women are.
That's true.
We're harder on ourselves and each other. Our expectations for each other sometimes supersede what common sense would even tell you is okay.
Oh, I like that. Supersedes what even common sense would tell you.
Right.
It's okay.
So, I was having a similar conversation with my partner. I have one of the females in our group now, because I was the only one for a long time.
I know.
But we brought on Dr. Aparna almost 3 years ago. And she and I have these conversations. And we have to make it okay for each other. We get
Right.
very busy in life, and you want to do everything for everyone. But you've got to make it okay. So sometimes, if you're feeling this mom guilt, having someone call you and say, you know what? I just wanted you to know, I see from the outside looking in, you're doing a fantastic job.
Yes, just
That's
encouragement.
amazing.
Yes.
That little bit of encouragement can go a super long way. You know, my brother, he's married, and his wife and I, we get along very well.
Right.
And Amy will call me sometime, and she'll say, hey, sis, I was just calling to check on you. I love you. You're doing great.
And guess what? Not really wanting anything.
Nothing. Not wanting a thing.
And see, that's the thing I struggle with. Sometimes you only hear from people if they need you to do something for them.
Right.
Sometimes just call up and say, hey, what's going on? Did you know that all of the purses are on sale at dealers?
Right.
Not that you need one, but
just check on me.
Light conversation.
Absolutely.
With
that
no
goes a
no
long
request.
way, especially if you're a person that you always feel like someone wants something from you.
Yes.
You know, I have patients calling, I have staff calling, I have this person calling, that person. I'm a business owner. I mean, you know, there's always someone that wants a piece of you. So to just have people in your corner that don't want anything from you other than your companionship, your friendship, your, you know, they just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, girl talk.
That is amazing. So as women, not only having your career or your family, but having a core group of friends that are important to you, that's important also.
See, and I'm glad you said that. A core group of friends. It doesn't mean that it's got to be 500 people.
No.
I know that you had, you know, a little circle of people and you all would get together and have lunch.
Correct.
The Mocha Medicine ladies and didn't do it every week or every month, but, you know, maybe once a quarter. All that's important.
Yes.
Where you no longer have to be Dr. Smith.
Right.
You don't have to be mom, wife, daughter, sister. You could just be Tamorie.
Right.
You know, and laugh.
Absolutely.
And just release.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I personally, I'm very private. I don't have to have a million friends.
Oh, exactly.
My husband likes to say, well, you know everybody. I know everybody, but I'm not friends with everybody.
Oh, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody. I know a lot of people, but we're not friends.
So
I just know people.
The people that are my friends, those are my core group of people that I count on. They can count on me. You know, having those people, having that sounding board at times where you can let your hair down and not be Dr. Smith and not be mom and not be all these hats that we wear all
the time.
I can just be Tamorie.
Yeah.
I can't even voice how important that is.
That is very important, and we have permission to do that. Yes,
that's right.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is take a break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors.
Columbus Pediatrics GA, working together to build lifelong relationships between our staff and patients by consistently providing compassion, excellence, and value with 2 locations. The Old Town office at 3580 Massey Lane, Suite F, 706-596-8667. The Midtown office, 1900 11th Avenue, Suite A, 706-323-3400, ColumbusPediatricsGA.com. Barbara's Cleaning Service, a 5-star commercial service with satisfied customers in Georgia and South Carolina, built on the principle that every detail matters. Barbara's Cleaning Service, a new season building a family legacy. The Autism Hope Center. Diane Pope has dedicated the last 3 decades ensuring that families had support and resources for their loved ones on the autism spectrum. Join the Autism Hope Center for fellowship and resources, located at 200 Hamilton Road, Suite B, or call 706-604-6333. The Miley Agency. Gerald Miley and his team can assist you in every aspect of your insurance needs. Call today for your free quote at 706-996-2045 or visit themiley.agency.com.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I cannot tell you how grateful I am that Dr. Tamorie Smith has taken time out of her busy schedule. Just an amazing practice, the awesome team at Renal Associates LLC, that they have supported me from day one. The practice has grown so big that it takes months to just get on her social calendar. This is a social visit. But I'm happy to see your success. I am one of your biggest cheerleaders, like your mom.
Yes.
When I post the memories of you, people come on the page and they just say all these great things about you. We are all in agreement that you are an excellent physician, very humble, very kind and caring, individual outside of just being a doctor. You know, people wear different masks
Yes,
for
ma'am.
different things, but who you are is consistent. And so I just cannot thank you enough for your friendship and your support. Okay, so you know, I'm a very mature girl, and most of the people that I know, including my siblings who are older than me, are very
Sure.
mature girls.
Sure.
You are a kidney doctor, and things change for us. You know, when you're young, it's one thing. If you have children, you're in a different stage. And now when you're over here in the menopause and post-menopause,
Right.
things change.
Right.
And so we have to start educating women
Yes.
on that. So
Yes.
we are prepared for things.
Yes.
We get to the final quarter and people have to start using things like Depends and, you know, people 80, 90 years old, you know, it's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Right.
Those are the conversations people have to start having openly.
Yes. Yes.
And not feel embarrassed about it. If you live to get to that point, if you 85 and 90 and you need to, don't be embarrassed.
Absolutely. You know, I have conversations with patients all the time, and I tell them, after the age of 40, your kidneys are changing and age-related changes. We're aging. We hope to age. And
Yes.
so we have to take that into account.
The alternative is death.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And so we have to be a little bit more cognizant of our health, and you have to be, you know, that population of patients, as they're older, some of them are not as comfortable
Right.
sharing what can be construed as very intimate details
Exactly.
with their doctors. And so they think it's not okay to ask these questions and to have these concerns, but that's who you want to tell.
Exactly.
You know, if you're having to wear Depends and you feel like it's abnormal, if you're having urinary problems, frequency, urgency, incontinence, these are conversations that we need to have.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I don't just want you to age. I want you to age but have a good quality of life.
I love that.
And that's important. And so all of these concerns are important. If you don't bring them to me, then we can't have a conversation about
Right.
it. I can't know that this is happening to you.
Right.
And so there's not going to be 100% of the time that as doctors we can always fix your problems. But if you don't present them to us, we're not able to address it and at least help you try and come to some sort of fix or conclusion. You know, between nephrologists like myself and urologists who
Right.
we have in town, it's sort of a group effort to look at and evaluate these types of issues. And patients just have to be more vocal, you know?
Right.
You have
and it's
to
nothing
talk.
to be embarrassed about
No,
if you live
please
long
don't.
enough.
I tell my patients there is nothing you can say to me that will embarrass me. There is no question that you can ask that I will think is ridiculous or stupid or, you know, that you should not be asking me. There is no such thing as inappropriate. If
Right.
there's something, a concern that you have about your health, bring it up.
Yeah.
I will tell you if I know. If I don't, we're going to figure it out together.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I like about you. And the last time we did was Dr. Rhymes,
Yes.
family medicine.
Correct.
Dr. Virgil, pediatrician, yourself and me at Dave Benefield's, and we had a tea party.
Yes.
And you were saying then, be careful how you pick your doctors. If you can't say, you know, everything you need to say, then you're in the wrong
Absolutely.
place.
Absolutely.
You're in the wrong place. But I just want, a lot of times, there are things we whisper about as women. Don't whisper about it. Of course,
Thank
you know
you.
I'm not the type. I'm going to be
Oh, I
very
know.
vocal. No, but there are some, and they are really embarrassed. So
Yes.
it's like, no, because I want to live. I want to look
Yes.
good.
Yes.
You know, I still want to be able to have a good quality of life.
Yes. So women that have urinary incontinence, frequent urinary tract infections, especially if you're diabetic.
Oh,
These
okay.
need to be conversations that you are having with your doctor.
Okay.
Because sometimes there are reasons behind this. Sometimes there are medicines that cause this. Sometimes there are medicines that can help this.
Okay.
But if you don't bring it to our attention,
We can't help
you won't get help.
get a solution.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Okay, and so your practice, you all deal with people on dialysis. Of course, Daddy went on dialysis at age 90 years old, and you told us this will probably work for about 2 years, almost to the day, just what you said. And it will give him a chance to, you know, do
Yes,
some
ma'am.
things. And so you have very young people. because I do know Jamal, he got a kidney transplant. So this kidney thing does not discriminate.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't discriminate by age, race, sex, gender, anything you can think of. It does not discriminate. So all people need to be aware. And the one thing we need to remember, people think, and it's a false assumption, they think that, oh, I urinate, so I'm fine.
Right.
No, you are not necessarily fine. A person cannot look at you and tell how your kidneys are functioning.
Okay.
So you have to have blood work, urine studies. You have to have some data for us to look and determine what's going on. Just making urine is not enough. I have dialysis patients who make urine.
Oh, really?
So that is not the only thing that we're looking at here.
Okay.
So please, 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 especially as you said, as you age.
Right.
As you age, it's not okay to not have a primary doctor. It's not okay to only go to the doctor when you have a cold or when something's bothering you.
Right.
Oftentimes, by the time something bothers you and you are symptomatic,
it's a problem.
It's far gone.
Yes.
So we want to be proactive and not reactive.
Okay.
And that's what you need a primary care doctor to help you do.
Okay.
And so that's what we were speaking about last time I was on the show, about having a primary care doctor, taking part in your own health. These things become more and more important as you age.
Right. And it's okay to ask questions.
Absolutely.
And as you told our family, no question is a stupid question. The only stupid question is the one you didn't ask. I love that. And that's why I love your approach. And I just want to thank you so much for coming, taking time. I know it's a sacrifice. I know patients are waiting for you. I know that big practice that you all got going, but the team is a good team.
Absolutely.
The quality of care is superb. So I just encourage people, if you don't have a primary care doctor,
you need to get one.
You need to get one. If you're older and just because you are making urine, you need to make sure you're getting the blood work.
Absolutely.
To make sure your kidneys are functioning.
That's right.
And all of the things that need to be looked at, now's the time to look at it.
Now's the time to look at it.
Exactly. Don't wait till we get in trouble.
Don't wait till you have a problem.
Right.
Do maintenance to make sure you don't develop a problem. You know, and I'll tell you, it's kind of like this. If you have a car and you drive that car every day and you never check on it, you
And
never
never
do
put the
maintenance,
oil
you don't
in it.
check the oil, you don't do anything, eventually you're going to be on the side of the road.
Exactly.
And then you're going to have a big bill to repair whatever's broken.
Exactly.
But if you go for maintenance,
Right.
the routine, everyday maintenance you're supposed to do anyway,
Right.
change the oil, rotate the tires.
Exactly.
You'll take care of that car will last you longer.
Okay.
Your body is the same way.
All right. Well, we're going to end it on that. I love that. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your friendship and your support, and we will do it again.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. This has been Straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.